Hello, all of you creative people, and welcome to the first of a very different kind of video. So usually on this channel, I would release devlogs, either Bolato or for Movement. But I decided that this week, since I forgot to actually release the devlog last week, I might as well do something different. And this different thing is a challenge video, kind of, where I try and create a basic game in Unity visual scripting. Now, you see, the issue here is that the last time I used visual scripting, it was called Unity Bolt at the time, and this was right after Unity had bought Bolt, before they'd even changed the name, right? And I barely learnt it. Plus, I haven't used it in like 2 years, so I'm a pretty big noob when it comes to this, at least at the time of making this. But after this, I create a basic platformer game that works, even though I wouldn't call it working exactly. It's more barely working, and even at that, it's not great at all. And my personal opinion, Unity visual scripting isn't the greatest thing ever. I'm always going to be loyal to the great C sharp and all its beautiful, beautiful text-based coding. Because who doesn't love text-based coding? It's the best way to code. Anyway, so if we go here to the beginning of this, basically, I tried a first attempt, but it went, most people would call it horribly. I was trying to make a jump, but I failed so hardly. Nothing worked, nothing worked. But then I watched one YouTube video. I saw how people made stuff move when it came to 2D. So for my second session, I decided to take another round, another different approach. And this approach was all about the creating it move first, then making a jump. So I was able to get it moving. I then somehow managed to add a little bit of jumping mechanics. In the end, what we have is strafing, which is incredible. It's a great idea. When you want to horizontally strafe, it's about half as good as when you are moving on the ground. When you want to strafe in the air, it's about half as good as strafing on the ground. And I tried to implement that for moving forward and backwards, but I wanted it to transfer momentum plus adding the strafing, plus adding the extra bit of momentum you get from holding it down. What I ended up getting was something that didn't work at all. As I scrapped it and just made it so that you move at the same speed going forward and backwards as you would when you're on the ground, which still works fine. And it's actually a pretty good movement system, if I say so myself. It's not close to as complex as the one in movement, but I'm fine with that. It doesn't need to be as good at movement. It just needs to be a basic platformer uh, movement controller. It also uses a semi-fixed camera, I guess, as in the camera does, as in the okay, the player doesn't rotate, so you're going in a straight direction. None of that rotating stuff. You're just strafing from one platform to the other. Then I worked on the environment. What it does is at the end, I have it set that it spawns 25 whatever I guess whatever units Unity uses in front of the player. And in a random direction, 10 across or 10 to the negative it's just like whatever. 10 negative 10x or positive 10x. So that's pretty easy to do. I then have all of the obstacles and the platforms moving at a constant -2 speed, which works perfectly fine, I think. Then we get to the bit I'm most ashamed of when creating this. The fact that I had to use one script, one C# script that took me approximately about 3 minutes to make the entire thing altogether. It's very sad. It's very sad. But that script was my UI script. because I really didn't want to learn how to handle UI using Unity or Visual Scripting because I have this thing called actually was gonna say I have this thing called Life, but then I remembered that I spent approximately like 5 hours creating a game using something I'm never going to use, so I can't even use that excuse. I just don't feel like wasting any more time when I could be spending my time either doing a Velato update or working further on movement. But whatever, it doesn't matter, right? And yeah, so once I'm done that, I have this basic thing. I might even release it on itch.io and add the link to the itch.io in the description below, even though I don't know who in their right mind would want it, who would want an itch.io version. If you really want, I could just, Oh wait, one last thing I mentioned, I have a moving wall that's too slow for anyone to know, so it just stops people from camping at the base. It's not, it's super slow. It moves at like +5. It the chance of you getting caught up by the moving wall are so low, like so astronomically low, that I doubt anyone is ever gonna get caught by that thing. But yeah, that's that. That's the visual scripting challenge that I did for no absolute reason besides to release a YouTube video. This was fun. I should never do it again. But if you really want to see, if you like the video, I might do a C sharp version of this. I might even do a Playmaker version of this. Because that's gonna be fun, using Playmaker for the first time, creating this exact thing that took me 5 hours to create on something I'd used before and just forgotten. So everything's so good, everything works. Anyways, if you guys want to see a Playmaker version, or you want to see me make this thing multiplayer, just comment and like and do whatever. I don't care. Anyways, that's this video. Goodbye. See you in the next one. Check the description for an itch.io link of this game, and like, subscribe. I'm done. I just want to fall asleep.